Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do attachment styles. If you watched my last video on stages of development, we kind of mentioned attachment style, so I wanted to jump on here and do a video about attachment styles. If you have not watched my last videos, you might have heard of attachment styles. It's a pretty well-known subject, so we're going to dive into that today. As always, thank you for joining me. Again, this is not meant to be therapy. I am a licensed therapist practicing in the state of Utah. However, these videos are not intended to replace therapy. This is simply just education so people can hopefully better understand themselves without, having to go to therapy and spend the time and the money from the comfort of wherever you're at. Just giving you the education to hopefully put the pieces together for yourself a little bit more. I do offer individual therapy sessions. If you're looking for that, I will put my contact at the end of this slide. It's also on my description in YouTube. So there's multiple ways that you can get one-on-one therapy if you are wanting that after you view these videos. So today, as always, we're going to dive right in. What are attachment styles? Attachment styles are essentially exactly what they say. It is, and that's why I put that they can be very overcomplicated. Your attachment style is exactly what it says. It's how you attach to people in your lives. This does not have to just be intimate relationships. However, it is very much used a lot in intimate relationships. So boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend, marriage, whatever it is, that is typically where attachment styles are used, but they do not have to be just intimate relationships. So it's essentially just how you attach to other people. And how other people attach to you. You'll see that too. I'm going to go through 4 different attachment styles in this video. Again, as mentioned in my last video, if you have not watched my video titled Number 10 Negative Core Beliefs, please do so. Okay, please, please, please watch that video, or this one can be a little bit confusing. But what you're going to see is that your attachment style is just further consequences from steps 1 through 4 shown in video number 10. Okay. To do a small review of that equation for those of you that have not watched the video, there are steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 that will create emotional and behavioral consequences. So your attachment style essentially is just emotional and behavioral consequences from the top part of that equation not working properly or not making sense. So like I said, please go watch that if you have not, so this makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so we're going to start. Dismissive, avoidant attachment style. So people with this attachment style appear to be emotionally distant and rejecting, as well as leaving their other family members or partner wanting more closeness, or they leave people feeling like they can't get close to them. Okay, so it's a very withdrawing like behavior. So remember, in the equation, your consequences are always emotion and behavior, always emotion and or behavior. So this being emotionally distant and rejecting and leaving other people wanting more closeness, that is simply just a behavior, and it's happening because something at the top of the equation is not working properly. Okay. They find it difficult to trust others, and they do not like the idea of having someone depend on them, and they do not like to depend on somebody else. So they can become ultimately unavailable, like to children. If you were in a marriage with kids, they can become a little bit unavailable. So again, that avoidance is behavior. This is why it's called dismissive avoidant. It's exactly what it says. It's the people that are very dismissive and the people that are very avoidant in their emotions and their behaviors. Okay, so we can probably all speak to somebody in our lives, or somebody that has been in our lives that has been dismissive and avoidant at one point. Okay, so that is one attachment style. And these, all 4 that I'm going to share with you, are insecure attachment styles. So if you watched my video on stages of development and you learn in the very first stage of life, you can develop an insecure attachment style. Remember, one of the things that if that crisis wasn't met was mistrust and social withdrawal, which is exactly what you see in a dismissive avoidant. So see how this kind of all ties together. So all 4 of these are insecure attachment style. These are not good. This is what you do not want. Okay, so if Some of these are hitting the nail on the head with you as we go through them, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have an insecure attachment style. We need to fix that. Okay, we need to work on that. So that's your first one. Your second one is your preoccupied anxious attachment. So consistently worried about rejection and abandonment in the relationship, which is your thinking errors. They fixate on previous wrongdoings in relationships that intrude on their belief systems into the current relationship. So this can kind of continually look like bringing up situations with previous partners, friends, family, right? Like, well, so-and-so cheated on me, so now I can't trust you, which is a behavior and it's a core belief problem, and on and on and on. Like, look at that equation, okay? They blame other people very easily, and they typically don't understand their own role and what's happening. For example, if you're going to continually bring up wrongdoings of a previous relationship that's going to intrude on your relationship, and the person you're with says, but I'm not that person, and you fight back, you're not understanding your own role in that relationship. So that's kind of what it can start to look like. So you can see, again, all of this is linked to that equation. Okay? Again, not where you want to be. And again, preoccupied anxious is exactly what it says. Do not overcomplicate attachment styles. Can they go deeper than what I am giving here? Absolutely. There are therapists that dedicate their entire careers to attachment styles. I am giving you a very brief overview. You do not want to be in any of these. And they are exactly what they say. Dismissive avoidant is exactly that. They are your dismissive avoidant people. The preoccupied anxious people are exactly that. They are preoccupied with fear. Okay? Preoccupied with fear of typically somebody leaving or abandoning them. Okay? So exactly what it says. Next one, unresolved disorganized. It's exactly what it says. It's people with unresolved memories, aka stages of development, and they are very disorganized. Okay, so they are plagued by past memories of trauma and loss that remain unsolved, typically a core belief system. They detach emotionally to further avoid pain. Life pains are not mourned or resolved. Okay, this is the equation as a whole. We can find different parts of the equation that are wrong in relation to this. They have a hard time accepting closeness, and in turn they become aggressive, and they self-punish themselves. Okay, sometimes this can lead to a lot of substance use. So this is essentially the person that is just plagued and becomes a very disorganized person because their core belief system and their memories are just like a little cloud following them all the time. Okay, so it just becomes very unresolved, very disorganized, and that's how they attach to the world or to other people. Okay, not where we want to be. Now, the last one, secure attachment. Look at the little hearts. He looks nice, right? The other ones didn't look so nice. Your secure attachment is when you can depend on other people and you're comfortable with people depending on you. You accept closeness and separateness in your relationship. So that means you have a healthy equation. If you watched my stage of the development video and we were talking during the stage of marriage, and I talked about if you're a couple and you do everything together, you need to stop. This is why. Because that creates a secure attachment, right? I accept the closeness of my partner, but I also have separateness from them because I have my own hobbies and my own things that also build my autonomy. Okay. They're forgiving of themselves and others, and they trust, they're empathetic, they manage their emotions well and in a healthy manner. Again, a healthy equation. Okay. Because if I'm plagued by past traumas, that tells me you have a hard time forgiving, number one, yourself, and number two, the people that may have or may have not caused the things that came to you in life, which can become very disorganized. If you have a core belief system that you're not good enough and worthless, and you are so preoccupied with, oh, that person's going to leave me because I'm not good enough, that's not a secure attachment style. There's something wrong with the equation. We want to get you into a secure attachment style. That is the whole goal. But as you can see, all of your insecure attachment styles are simply just pieces of the equation that are wrong, that are causing emotional and behavioral consequences. So again, if we fix the core belief system, which is why I told you to go watch that video, if we dismantle that, everything else kind of falls into place, right? Like it falls into place. So attachment style, this is a really short video. To me, it's pretty cut and dry. With what they are. I mean, what the attachment style says is what it is. Dismissive avoidant is dismissive avoidant. Preoccupied anxious is preoccupied anxious. Unresolved disorganized is just that. It's kind of just what they say. Okay, so this is a short one. Like I said, there are therapists that dedicate their whole careers to this. So yes, this goes so much more in depth. If you want more, again, reach out to me. I put my website, my email, the YouTube channel here for more education on this, if that is what you're looking for. If you are looking for, okay, I've watched stages of development and I've watched this, how do I tie it together in my own life? Please contact me. Go to my website, book a session. We can absolutely do that. If you are simply just wanting more like handouts or worksheets that I use to kind of teach this, again, reach out to me. I can get you connected to those resources. As always, thank you so much for watching. Again, those of you that know me know this is one of my ultimate goals. So every time you watch, every time you share, it helps me tremendously. And again, truly thank you. Thank you for joining me today, and another video will be coming soon.